Hello and welcome to Cardboard and Plastic. Today's video, as you can see in the background, I got some autos, so I'm going to show off one of my PCs. And I'm going to talk a little bit in the beginning just about, well, first of all, I want to thank John Mangini for mentioning me in his video. That was quite unexpected. And all of a sudden I get some followers there. And this is one thing that I think I need to be better at. And I have way more subscribers than I should. There's channels much better than mine. They put a lot more work into it. However, I think the reason I have some of the subscribers is I have had negative videos, right? And that's what kind of feeds algorithms in YouTube, is this negative thoughts and behavior. And I mean, it's very similar in society. Right now, we have just, there's no compassion, right, in our society. I mean, that's gone. And the reason I probably have these negative videos and things like that is I care about the hobby. I want people to enjoy it. And when you hear the stories about backyard breaks and whatever nonsense happened there, and then you have kids watching that, it just really, it irks me, right? So I'm going to try to do better and just talk about positive things in the hobby as best as I can, and just try to ignore, right? Put your blinders on. And this is the great thing about the YouTube community. There are just amazing channels and people that care about cards, and they want to educate people about cards. And one of the questions that Mangini gave was like, what about this? Are we buying the card and not the grade anymore for vintage? And the answer is we basically have to. And I'm going to kind of give a few examples here. So I got this graded when I first started, and I'm going to show you the grade right now, right? We have rounded corners, but it's like a nice surface for the card. And if this card was graded, it would not get the same grade today. This card got a 4, right? Now, this is a card that I bought, right? So I graded this. And really the reason I graded with it, this card is, I got it for a great deal. I liked the surface of the card. The registration was nice, right? And I was actually, I was expecting a 3, 3.5, right? And I got a 4. This card got the same exact grade. Completely different card. This card is much better. However, I bought this already graded, right? And it's a little bit newer of a cert number, right? So these two cards got the same grade. Now, they don't deserve the same grade, but it really doesn't matter for me. I just love them both. They're just going to stay in my PC. However, this is what's happening now is PSA is just inconsistent. And, you know, they kind of always were, but it's just getting worse and worse, and standards are just getting higher and higher, especially for vintage. So this is something with just buying cards, right? If you go and look, right, at old cert numbers and new cert numbers, there's an obvious difference most of the time. Now, again, this is subjective for the grading. Maybe this was the same grader that graded both of these cards. One day, with this card, Nat Turner came in and visited and said, you know what? You're doing a great job. We appreciate you. And on this date, when the grader got the card, his boss came to him and said, you know what? You're only grading 80 cards an hour. Like, you got to step it up, or we're going to find somebody to replace you. Right? So this is the thing with cards, and it's just getting worse with PSA, and it's just not getting worse. My most recent order was like there's some cards that had damage, and I looked at pictures before the damage wasn't there. And I just want to know, like, what is PSA doing? How are they grading their cards? I want that transparency, because with all this, I mean, they're grading 1.3 million cards every single month. And to do that, they probably have a lot of automated processes. Are they just taking the cards? Are they feeding cards through machines? How are they handling the cards? I just don't know. And it is a bit upsetting, but for now, I'm just going to use SGC, maybe CGC if I do grade, but a lot of cards I won't be grading. Now, this is like kind of like another example. Like I just pulled these out. So here's a Don Larson. This is beautiful. By the way, this got a 5. I don't know how it got a 5. And I did not submit this card. I bought it. It looked beautiful. And there is no like surface issues. And this card got a 7, right? So if you're buying cards, right, which one do you want, right? Maybe this one's a little bit sharper, but being off-centered, right? Now, with 5s, I've gotten 5s before, right? And like this, like I don't know why, but I got a 5 with this beautiful 1969 Yaz here. And the card is beautiful. I knew that it had a little issue. So if you take a look there, do you see that little like bubble? And that's very common with vintage cards, with the card stock, with how they printed them. You're going to find little issues. Now, this card is special because of the centering. And I'm going to kind of show you, like, I bought a 5. And usually a 5, right, it doesn't look like this. This is what a 5 looks like. Now, if it's sharp. So this card looks gorgeous. If you look like straight on, I mean, this Dan Marino is great. But do you see there is a big flaw? You can see the big bend in that, right? So perfectly graded for this card. And this is like, just like, but it's really hard now because now we have these old cert numbers that are graded correctly, and then we have these new ones that have 5s and 6s that you can't find the issue with. And I've been grading my own cards, so I'm going to kind of show off my own slabs here. And I don't grade them, I just put them in a slab, and, well, here. So I'm a New York Yankee fan. I'm really excited about this year with Goldie joining the team here. So what I do is these are the Zion cases. And, right, and for this, I know, oh, Victor, the rookie card collector, is going to say this is not a rookie card, right? So this is the Cognac version of the 2011 Topps update. I like these better than the Platinum cards. They're gorgeous in hand. And this card, I just put some information about it, right? Make my own labels. And I'm just enjoying the cards here. That card, actually, there's 2 cards I got. I accidentally, I think I showed in an older video that I purchased 2 cards because I won. You know, I don't even know if that's a great word. Like, I won on an auction, right? That's why auctions get like really competitive, right? I paid for the card. I didn't really win anything. I just paid more than the other people were willing to pay. I don't know if that's called winning. But with that card, I bought one now, but I also had a bid on another one, and then that bid won, so I got 2. And what did I do? The one that is nicer, I am actually keeping off to the side, and maybe I'll grade that one and sell that for a slight profit. This one is perfect, except at the bottom, there's a little tiny lift, right? And I'm not going to send the card back to the seller, right? that is like a lot of factory cuts with those cards, with the card stock, right? I mean, it just gets like a little flip there. That's how it came from the pack. Now, this card I bought, and I told this story, it has a little crease here. This card has some corner. This is not a gradable card. However, with that Jose Altuve, that card has value even with a little crease in it, rough corners, because that card doesn't have a lot printed. Now, I would much rather have that card than like a PSA 10 of just the base, because of the scarcity of the 10 of the grade. That card, the cheapest one on eBay right now, is $350. That card was $100, and there was like 30 people watching it, and then the seller put it out for $75. I jumped on it. Yeah, I bought a damaged card for $75, but I have the card. If I wanted to get one, there's a PSA 9 right now on eBay. That's the cheapest cognac version. It would cost me $350. So I'm really happy. Now, this is the other thing that kind of irks me. And this will be the last little thing before I go. People always say, and I just want to kind of tell people, like, these slabs don't really protect your cards better than other, than top loaders. So they always say, like, I need to authenticate and I need to protect my card. First of all, there are fakes of this Dan Marino, but if you know what you're doing, you're not going to get a fake. And the other thing, too, is, like, these don't really protect your cards. And actually, sometimes, like, this one's pretty good in there. But a lot of times, I even got, like, an order back from PSA. And, like, I shook the cards in there. They're, like, bouncing around inside the slabs. So, here's a card, right? I don't have graded, but it's a great card. I know it's real. I collect all of these, right? I touch these. There's actually not a lot of fakes of these. There are reprints of these. But this card and a top loader, like, it's just as safe as in this case, right? Actually, probably safer, right? We can take that card, throw it right down, right? Actually, I think the top loader is safer than this. If I backed over this in my car, this case would crack and possibly damage the card. If I ran over this with my car, it would probably be 100% fine, right? So I think we are at a point of not trusting the grading companies as we should because of the inconsistency, how many cards they're grading, the toughening of the standards. So we can use our eyes. And if we see a PSA 7 now versus a PSA 7 with an old cert number, there are differences. So now you could turn the video off if you don't care about collecting. All right, so what we have here, one of the things I do enjoy to collect are Hall of Famer and superstars on card autos, right? And I just don't, personally, the sticker autos I don't like, because with this, I like to have cards that the athlete touched, that they actually put the pen or the Sharpie to the card. And this card is actually one of my favorite cards in my whole collection. It's Biggio, Altuve, and this card I think is going to be really neat in the future because I believe Altuve is going to have 3,000 hits and Biggio has 3,000 hits, and both may be with the Astros for their entire career. Now, I know there's this scandal with the Astros and Biggio, so here is, and the thing is, like, I love modern, like ultra modern autos, and some of these old, like the Skybox autographics, they're just great cards. Now, the thing is this card used to be much more expensive. What's happening, and by the way, I don't care about, like, I don't care about. Like, this is what I care about, and I don't even need this. I can look at the auto. It looks great, right? But with Edgar Martinez, like, his autographs used to be more expensive. And they have really dropped down in price now because of the fact that Fanatics has all these agreements, and they're just making these players sign card after card after card, which as a collector, I really enjoy. But as an investor, people probably don't like because their cards are dropping down in value, right? Tom Glavine is signing more than he ever has, right? And so those cards are getting cheaper. By the way, a lot of these players just sign cards, and I typically don't like cards that like are PSA certified. I just like the pack-pulled ones personally. The reason I got this one, first of all, it was $20 shipped. And also it has the Hall of Fame inscription for 1973. So definitely I picked that one up. And if I ever find a better deal in another Spawn, and there's players like Spawn and Feller, and people always like post things where, like, is this a real autograph? Like, nobody's out there faking Warren Spawn autographs. He signed, I don't even want to know how many cards he's signed in his life. Bob Feller the same way. If you see a Bob Feller or Warren Spawn, it's probably real. And this is a card that I pulled. Actually, I got the a redemption for this. So really cool having two Yaz's on the same card, both on card autos and game used relics. And I mean, Mike's with the Giants, right? Awesome, right? And I don't know what this is. I mean, was Carl wearing some cloth undies that they just cut up? Don't know. But really kind of cool. But they both, right, signed this card together. So, and this is, these CGC slabs, I really just like the quality of the plastic. Very similar to what I'm going to be showing you and what I slabbed up with, right, these cards, where I just give some information. And these Zions, I mean, this plastic is just as good as the CGC or old CSG. So let me just show you a few cards, and I'll go pretty quickly through these because this is my, so far, I have some other ones I still have to put in slabs, but my wife kind of helped me out with, like I make the labels, and then she takes the labels and she cuts them out with the Cricut machine. I still am working on perfecting them, making the size a little bit better, but let me show you a few cards. So you've probably seen these cards before if you watch my videos. So, by the way, when I showed my wife that, she goes, "You have a Jose Canseco autograph?" And like, none of the other players, like, she even like looked at, cared about. But this is the thing. If you grew up during the 90s, 80s era, like, Jose Canseco was a superstar, right? The Bash Brothers. And this is something that, like, the superstars like Darryl Strawberry, Dwight Gooden, I want all their autographs. Right? So all I did, not in the Hall of Fame, I just put the logo there. And I try to get the card with the team that they're part of, right? So the Oakland A's. So he won the 1988 MVP, 6-time All-Star. So that's what I just put down, just a little bit of information. And these Zion cases are absolutely gorgeous. I actually have to get to, this is tier 1. I love the tier 1 autos, and you'll see a lot of them. This is a 75 point. So, yep, I had to buy a 75 point, 55 point, 35 point, 100 point, right? Because whatever card looks nice to me and has a nice auto, I pick up. This is a card I slabbed in. Not really even a superstar, a couple of time, 4-time All-Star, 2-time Silver Slugger, Jack Clark. And what I do too, with the labels as well, you could kind of see, I use like for the Oakland A's, I go to the hex colors and I get the border of like the Oakland A green. And for this, I got the San Francisco orange color. And it doesn't print out perfectly all the time, but it's kind of cool. But this is a on-card auto for Jack Clark, and I got this in a lot. I really like it, and this is kind of funny. So it came with this. So Bob's sports cards, and I got Bob's autograph. So Jack Clark signed this card in my store in 2001, right? So I just keep that little top loader with that card there. My wife also collected cards with her brother. She just had junk wax, right? So, but she had 2 cards that became, well, part of my PC. Well, if she ever leaves me, she could take the cards, I guess. This is one card she had, and I slabbed it up. She got this at a card shop. She was a big San Francisco Giants fan with her brother and Will the Thrill Clark. By the way, if you have a nickname, you were a superstar back in the day. So 6-time All-Star. And like, you could take a look at those autographs. Now, do I need a PSA to use their like DNA analysis, whatever they do, to know that it's real? I don't care. It looks like it's real. Good enough for me. Here's a 5-time Yankee All-Star from from these great teams right there. And this card, I mean, you could get these things for pretty cheap. I got this card for under, like, I think it was like 16, 18 bucks. And not only that, it has a pinstripe, right? The Yankee pinstripe. So awesome card. And I just put the Yankees there. And there's a lot of great things that you can get for pretty cheap. This one I paid, I mean, I think I got a great deal with 50 bucks for this one, but you know, Don Mattingly was my Mickey Mantle. So if I had to say what are my 2 favorite players, Don Mattingly, Ricky Henderson, and now with Ricky Henderson, who passed away, unfortunately, I'm going to have to get one of his autographs, and they're going to cost me a little bit. It's going to cost me some money. And like this card, actually, the Zion case costs more than this card. I love the Greats of the Game, the Fleer sets there. Here's a Darryl Strawberry. By the way, look at the thickness of that card. I don't even know what this is. I think this is like a 180 point card. And I'll go through. These are my Hall of Famers. And what I do is I just look for the best price I can get for the card I like, for the team that they're on, and the nicest auto. And even if the card has like a little ding on the corner, I don't care. The auto is what I'm looking for. So alphabetical order, we'll go through these pretty quickly. So Bagwell. And I'm just going to put these down because I got them in alphabetical order. I don't want to spend time changing that. Oh, this is going to trigger people. Yep, I had to get a Harold Baines. He made the Hall of Fame. If you want a, and this is the great thing about like a cheap PC, even if you're an ultra-modern collector, learn about the history of the game. Kind of see these stars and these Hall of Famers, and you can look them up. But like this card, you can get for under $10. I mean, he just signs a lot of autographs. This card, I mean, that's one of my favorite there. That's a great card. The Lou Brock. And this is like, and I just, you know, I don't need them to match. I just want one card of every Hall of Famer. Whatever card looks good. By the way, look at that autograph, right? I mean, modern players do not sign like that anymore. Got Raleigh Fingers. Tom Glavine. And you can see, I do like these Topps tier ones. Barry Larkin. Played his whole career with the Reds. Yep, and actually with these two, right, so these are the Fleer. And Paul Molitor. Another one. Jack Morris. And I just try to get the best prices I can. Phil Niekro. Very underrated. I mean, Jim Palmer. You could get these cards for well under $20 for one of the greatest pitchers, probably the best pitcher during his era. Tony Perez. And really, why am I showing these off? I'm just putting these back in my case. I'm not going to look at them. So if I ever want to see them again, it's just easier to turn on the video. Gaylord Perry. Tim Raines. Shiny. Jim Rice. You know, Slaughter, really cool. And I really do like the Topps Archives, Topps Heritage. Actually, I mean, if I had like a no budget, I would actually go over a lot of the, I love the red signatures for the Topps Heritage. Lee Smith. I mean, we can argue about who's a Hall of Famer or not, but this card, and I probably showed you this on a ComC reveal, this was just posted for sale with the regular Alan Trammell, Paul Molitor rookie cards there. And like this, I was like, wow, somebody wrote on it. And then I kind of looked at the autograph. I'm like, that's very consistent with his real autograph. So I think it's real. Like, why would somebody go to that trouble? I have no idea. I'm eventually going to get, like, it's not a great ballpoint pen type signature, so eventually I'm going to get a better one. And this is the cool thing about these slabs is I can reuse them. I can reuse the labels, and if I get another card, I just can throw it in there. And I do protect them with these Superior Fit sleeves. Right, these are for, I just had these lying around. I was putting a few of my CGC cards in there. But unfortunately right now, because of like Canada and China, they actually stopped selling them for a little bit. And I do need to buy some more. They said they have a solution, so hopefully I can get some more of those because I really like these and they protect it. And the worst that happens, right, I want to switch it out. I can actually take this off there. And, I mean, because these slabs are not cheap. They're $3 a piece. So, $2 to $3 if you buy them in bulk. Larry Walker. And Dave Winfield. So, that's my baseball PC. And just really, that's what I'm doing right now with my collection is I have so many cards lying around. By the way, I don't want to turn around my camera. I would be embarrassed. My desk looks like it just got cards everywhere. Too many cards for me to really enjoy. So I'm not really buying much right now. I'm just kind of enjoying the cards that I have, going through them, doing my labels, organizing. So that's kind of where I am in my collecting. I will be having a ComC order coming in, and really not a lot, but there's a story behind some of the cards that I bought, which I will share with you. So in the comments below, do you have a PC kind of like mine here that's really, I mean, by the way, I'm not saying a lot of money. I'm very fortunate to have these cards. And I think that's the thing, that we see these videos of these great collections, but you got to realize that these people that have these great collections were collecting in the 80s and the 90s when these cards, or 2000s, when the vintage didn't have as much value. And now with the popularity of vintage and pre-war, I mean, just prices are going up and it's impossible to keep up with some of these collections. You just got to kind of really enjoy what you have and appreciate what you have. So let me know if you actually have like a PC that you're kind of proud of, but isn't worth a lot of money. And I will be showing some other PC cards, which probably people don't like, but I'm going to show them, but also talk about, there's a lot of cards that I can't get right now from the 90s, of even just players that nobody cares about, because we have massive money in the hobby. And there's people like Nat Turner that collect certain sets from basketball from the 1990s. And I know when I bid on certain cards for my Rick Smits PC, there's certain cards that people like Nat Turner, because he's trying to put those sets together, like with the credentials, the rubies, all these special sets. And I can't outbid Nat Turner. I mean, if he wants a card for like, and I'm willing to pay like $200, right? He'll pay $20,000 for the card. He doesn't care, right? So, by the way, I got 2 kids that are going to go to college. I got to save up for that. So that is why I really don't spend that much money on cards. So I have no idea if you're still watching, but if you are, thank you. Have a great day. Keep on collecting.